What is up, friends? My name is Nick. Thank you for joining me today once again. Today, man, is a special day. Well, not really today, a couple days ago. I hit the 300 day point on semen retention. Right now it's 302, I guess. I don't really keep track, but I had a timer to remind me when I hit my 300 day mark. And for the 1 year too, I haven't nutted since August of 2020. This is my longest streak yet. Before this, I went on a 130 day streak, 135 day streak, something like that, like 4.5 months. And before that, it was a 45 day streak or like a 50 day streak, something like that. And that was back in like 2019. So that's how long I've been practicing this for. It's been almost 2 years now of semen retention. Before then, I was doing just no fap. When I was doing no fap, well, before I was doing no fap, I got the epiphany or some called download that holy shit, like our semen has the power to create an entire human being, man. Well, half the power, I guess. And that and it just dawned on me how important that is and how it should just not be wasted into a tissue, a sock, whatever you fucking bust in nowadays. And so really after that, I kind of just kept it to my partners, my sexual partners. And even after that, after a big breakup of mine, of a girlfriend of like about 2 years, I realized, I really should hold my seed and really only release it unless it's with somebody who is of a high vibration themselves. So now you guys know a little bit about my background with it. So I've noticed a lot of differences between this 300 day streak and my 135 day streak, or whatever, I'll say 4 month streak. And one of the main differences I've noticed is back then I was not the best at transmuting. Well, I wasn't bad, but I wasn't the best at transmuting this energy. I would constantly feel like hyped up, like I had like so much energy, and I wasn't necessarily putting it into all of the right things, I should say. Nowadays, my body is more used to this energy. Everything's much more fluid, and it's a lot more serene. It's not as like I don't feel like on the edge of like not busting, but like on the edge of just like blah, just not exploding, but just having so much like pent up energy. Like I just want to like, I don't know, fuck the world, man. Not in a bad way, in a good way. I want to fuck the world. I want to spread my love to the world. And one thing that differs once you get into these later days, and I don't even want to say like I've been doing it for a long time, because there's people that retain their semen for like years. But I mean, it's all 300 days is a long time for a lot of people. And one of the things I've noticed is I move much more fluidly with my environment. My energy is much more compatible with the world around me. And like, of course I've noticed this on my early days, but like even more so, it's not like so much the attraction, that's definitely increased, but it's how I navigate throughout my day has just become so much more fluid. Like I know exactly what I need to be doing for that day. I want to say once you hit like half a year, you start like figuring out like what you should be doing. Like just intuitively, you know what to do, and there's just like you go for it. You're not diddle daddling, you're not fucking around, you're just going for it. And this might not even be like work. This could be like you could realize you have a lot of shadow work within that you have to, a lot of negative energies within you that you have to integrate, not necessarily purge out. I don't like that word, but you got to integrate it, understand things that happened in your past, things that you're holding on inside you that you've probably buried a while ago and completely forgot about. Because that is one difference I've noticed between this long semen retention streak and the last one that was 4 months, a little over, is that the shadow work on this, it's kind of like a mild like psychedelic trip almost. Like naturally these things just make their way up through the surface, through my subconscious. And I think what is happening is that this sexual energy fuels our subconscious, and our subconscious is our spirit mind, our actual mind. When our subconscious is fueled compared to when we're busting all the time and releasing all our energy, we aren't so clouded by our own egos. Because your ego will really take things that have happened in the past that you find uncomfortable and that you don't want to face, and it will just completely avoid them. It'll act like it's not there, like it'll go away. And this is one of the things about the ego that isn't good. Because the ego is good in the sense that you need it to actually navigate through this third dimension, but it really just balances the relationship between ego mind and subconscious mind so you can have a healthy mindset living your life. And one more note on shadow work before I move on. One thing that I did last streak is that I was drinking coffee every day, twice a day. And this time on this 300-day streak, I haven't been drinking coffee I've been drinking it like once a week, but I'm not addicted. I believe this is one reason why the shadow work is so much more intense this time around, because I don't have these energy blockages that the caffeine has created in my body, and the energy itself is allowed to move more fluidly throughout my body and unlock these blockages. And when these blockages are unlocked, they're karmic blockages. It's memory. That's what karma is. All it is memory. So this memory is being unlocked. So I'm remembering a lot of things from my past. Like, I'm not talking just like in high school. I'm talking about or college. I'm talking about like when I'm 5 years old, 4 years old. But yeah, so the shadow work is going to get so much more intense the longer you go on this, probably past the 6-month mark. And it'll speed up too if you stop drinking caffeine, because I know a lot of people drink caffeine on a daily basis, multiple times a day. And man, I really got a note on how much stronger the attraction gets when you get into these later days. Because man, it's to the point where I'm getting like random checks in the mail for like $100. Well, I've gotten one random check in the mail, and it was from the place I bought my car at back in October, my new car. And the thing, I called them to make sure it wasn't a scam, because I used to work in accounting department, and people would send fake checks out to people with our name on it. I guess it's just to scam to get bank information or some shit. So I had to call them to make sure it's not, and it was just a real check. Another thing that happened, my parents called me one day. What the fuck? Mud. Felt like I stepped in some shit. But my parents called me the other day, this is like a month ago, and they're like, hey, we found an envelope in the garage with your name on it. There's some money in it. I'm like, what the hell? I had no clue what that's from. No clue. It's just my name. There wasn't even a card in it or anything. Just $50. I'm like, what the hell? So money is just finding its way to me, man. And the woman attraction, man, of course, that's gotten a lot more potent. At first, on my first long streak, it was definitely there, strong. But back then, I was more so emitting this raw masculine energy that I wasn't transmuting as efficiently as I am now. So now it's much more of a fluid masculine energy that I'm emitting. And that's a lot more chill, and the woman just like that a lot better. I was at the gym earlier today, and there was this girl just following me around, working out literally right next to me, wherever I would go. And she was there with her boyfriend too, because she came there in the beginning, they were together, and they left together. I'm like, damn, these girls really just can't help themselves when they're around this type of energy. And man, just the deeper you get into your semen retention journey, the more you realize that life, bet in psychedelics, when you take enough, a lot of people get to the point where they're like, ah, shit, why am I taking psychedelics when life is the trip itself? And you get to that point of understanding again after honing this energy in for a while, because you realize it's not about the end point, it's about the journey itself. And we're not here to race to the end, we're here to enjoy the journey. You don't listen to a song to listen to the ending, you listen to a song to enjoy it while it's being played. And I noticed, man, while I'm on these later days of semen retention, I just noticed my love for life just increases on a daily basis.